Guilford came into Lynchburg on Saturday looking for 2 in a row back-to-back days. They defeated W&L on Friday. Stephanie Flamini knew she was going to have a tough time on senior day at Lynchburg. I talked to the head coach of Guilford after the game. 64-56, a lot of big free throws going down at the end from Guilford, especially from Brittany Drew. Came off the bench and scored 12 points in 12 minutes, 6 for 6 down the stretch with free throws. Here's Stephanie Flamini's thoughts on the game.
First half, I thought you took a pretty good punch because I thought they came out pretty hot.
Yeah, I knew they would. They were excited about the game, being senior day and everything, and they're a good team, so we expected them to come out, and they're a very good team at home also. So they did. They came out fighting, and we knew what we were in for. So
one thing that stuck out to me is I don't think you guys ever really looked rattled or flustered or anything today. Talk about keeping your composure, from you to everybody.
Yeah, I mean for some reason, our team, the last few games against Lynchburg, we really haven't gotten rattled, and none of us felt, like we couldn't win this game no matter, if we just played to our ability, and I felt like we did that. Their pressure really wasn't, as tough as some of the pressure we've seen this year, so I think that has something to do with it a little bit.
I didn't think the free throw shooting was too hot at the start, but it was hot at the end. That when it seemed like it counted.
Yeah, we shot very poorly in the first half, 40%. Right. It was bad. So, but we talked about it at halftime, and we knew Brittany Drew was hot. That down the stretch here, shooting free throws, we wanted the ball in her hands, and she did a great job of making those shots.
Now I got to notice every time she was shooting, you weren't looking. Is that a superstition thing?
That was my superstition thing today. I wasn't looking when Gabby shot either. I didn't want to see. That was just my superstition today.
Talk about Gabby. She finishes with 15 and 7, but her length and her presence seems to create just an automatic mismatch anywhere.
Yeah, she does a really good job, and she played a lot of minutes last night. Had 18 points. She was a little tired today, but she still came through for us. But her presence is something that helps us out defensively and offensively. People know she's good, and just her being out there helps us tremendously.
We talked quite a bit. When you guys have an ODAC game on Friday night and then you have an ODAC game on Saturday night, I take it it's a lot easier to play on Saturday with a win on Friday.
It is, yeah. But, it was also easier. We were home yesterday, right. So we got to, and we didn't have to stay in a hotel. We got to get up a little later than usual and come on up, so it helped.
What else stood out to you about your team that I haven't maybe mentioned?
Well, I'm not really happy with 18 turnovers. I don't think they were all forced. I think we just made some bad decisions. We'll work on that. That happens, especially after you had a game Friday. We're a little tired and we made some bad decisions. But other than that, I'm pleased with the effort, and I thought we did a really good job against a very good team.
I don't see a game in the tournament where I think it's going to be easy for anybody in the ODAC tournament. But even with a young team, it seems like you got tournament experience. We've talked about it, but how big is it coming down the stretch that you guys keep playing well?
Obviously it's big. We want to go in with some momentum and some confidence. But, you're right. There are no easy games. I don't want to even look at the standings because it really doesn't matter where we finish. We're going to have a game. We're going to have 3 games on our hands when we get into the tournament, if we have 3 games.
Coach, best of luck in the tournament and beyond.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Bob.
Gabby Oglesby always gives people a lot of problems. She scored 15 points and had 7 rebounds for Guilford. I got Gabby's thoughts on the game and on her team afterwards. Guilford comes away 64-56 victory over LC.
What did you feel like went right for your group today?
Well, the hardest thing for us is coming together and playing as a team, and once we do that, that's really the basketball that we want to play. So coming together that second half, it was tough towards the end of the stretch there, but once we come together, that's what we want to do.
What do you feel like you guys didn't do the first half that you wanted to do more?
First half, we needed to calm down on turnovers. That's one of the things Coach says. We'll win if we don't turn the ball over and we don't give up as many offensive rebounds as we do. But those are the things that we needed to do on the second half.
How do you feel like your size helps you mismatch, even if you're not having a great game, just because a lot of people don't have your wingspan or whatnot?
Yeah, I do give my wingspan a lot of credit, but I'm skinny, so that's hard sometimes. But my height, I do take advantage of it. It's easy for me to get a lot of block shots and get rebounds.
I talked to Coach Flamini about this. It seemed like you guys don't get rattled out there. I don't know if that was just today or if that's a normal thing. Talk about staying poised, especially on the road when it's tougher to go on the road, obviously, than it is to play at your place.
Yeah, I'll give Lynchburg credit. It's always hard to come up here and play them, and Coach told us that from the start. But it's always tough to play on the road when you go anywhere. But we got to keep the intensity up, and I will admit we didn't have that today. But it's not like us not to have that intensity, so it was tough today.
Brittany Drew was a stud at the line late, 6 out of 6 at the last part. Talk about the free throw shooting from your group late.
I think it was definitely great. Like, that's one of the things they told us at halftime we needed to work on. He said we got to get better from the free throw line. I think we were like 42% going into halftime. So that's definitely one of the notes that they had, and we just took advantage of the second half.
What do you feel like you guys learned by going to the semis last year in Salem?
Don't take anyone lightly, and don't underestimate anybody. I think we were the ones who were underestimated last year. But when you're playing your best basketball, it's going to be hard for anybody to beat you.
I know you got some important games left still. I believe one with Mennonite and obviously and Bridgewater. Talk about, maybe at this point treating every game like a tournament game.
Yeah, that's exactly what our assistant coach said. We should play every game from here on out like it's the championship game of the ODAC, and that's what we plan on doing.
Thanks for your time today, Gabby. Best of luck throughout.
Thank you.
Abby Pyzik's squad always gives maximum effort. Saturday, no different. Shannon Allen comes off the bench with 22 points on senior day as Allison Cannella, the senior, got the start. 4 seniors on the team. We'll have more on Carly Greenleaf, Allison Cannella, Katie Crump, and Caitlin Falls in a future podcast. But the Hornets just had some problems from the outside. But there were some good things, too. Abby Pyzik talks good and bad, and about Roanoke, a big one on Tuesday night for the Hornets here on the Sports Buffet podcast.
Thought you guys came out great in the first half and played a solid first half. Talk about what you saw good in the first 20 minutes.
I thought we came out well. I thought we had a lot of energy. I think senior night definitely gave us a little energy as we walked onto the floor and to do something really special for our seniors tonight. And, I thought we were able to get a little deeper into our bench and get the ball rolling. And I thought we fought back after being down early a little bit and really making it a battle back and forth. And, you can see in our stats, I know the first half, we're right there, only a 2-point, which was very similar to at Guilford, which is what we discussed in our halftime talk.
A big part of your game's a 3-ball, and it just wasn't happening today for whatever reason. What did you see with the outside shooting that maybe didn't go right?
Definitely. I thought we got a little rattled, actually. It was the first time in a while, and I think our team felt that, and we tried to yank ourselves out of it, but just couldn't really get that confidence that we needed. And for sure, I think, Guilford plays a very aggressive defense on that aspect, and I give a lot of credit to Guilford on getting us stopped on the 3-point line, and so we just really couldn't get our shooters open. And I thought, when you look at the stats overall, I think it's pretty even down the stretch. I think we shot a little bit more poorly than Guilford, but the biggest thing is our assists. I don't feel like we really moved the ball very well and created and used our aggressiveness against them, and so I thought that was a big Achilles heel.
What else stuck out to you, though, on the positive notes?
I thought, it's really big. Obviously, we're not happy with the loss.
Right.
We wanted to, really take over, especially on our home floor. But I think the big thing is that we fought back at the end, and it was a very, very tight game at the end and was able to do little things. And, we still have that power in there, and hopefully we can get our rhythm back here in the next 2 days as we, host Roanoke on our floor on Tuesday.
This may sound dumb, but do you think your team responds differently to a loss now as they did earlier in the year, in maybe terms of more anger or more we don't want this feeling again or stuff like that?
Exactly. What I think is funny is that I think they know, you're exactly right. We definitely respond. It's almost like we're more sad because we can beat these teams,
right.
And we're so close, and that's what we talked about a little bit, is how close we are in the locker room to getting that done, and we have to bring it every night, and all of us have to bring it. And so, I think we are a little bit more disappointed in that aspect because we know we have it, and so that definitely lingers on, and that's definitely what I want as we build our program.
Final thing, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Tuesday's big. It's big on many levels. What worries you about Roanoke, and how big is it?
We take one game at a time, and I do believe in something bigger. So I know whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I'm going to prepare my team for the best of my ability, and I know they know it's big as well. And so we try to keep it simple, do what we do. But Roanoke is very aggressive. They've definitely come up a lot stronger. They're very balanced right now, and so it's going to be a big game as they're fighting for something and we're fighting for something. So it should be a great game.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Lynchburg is in a dogfight to get into the ODAC tournament. They sit at 7-11 in the ODAC. Roanoke and Highlands are both at 7-10. Lynchburg still has a game against Roanoke, and that is this coming Tuesday. Hornets close with Roanoke and Washington in league. Guilford, meanwhile, still has Eastern Mennonite left. Guilford sits at 14-3 and can do no worse than the 3 seed in the ODAC tournament. For the Sports Buffet podcast, this is Bob Alvis.